You know, the 1977-78 season was just like a cancer patient. I hope you know I'm not making a joke of that. When you're first diagnosed with cancer, there's something called stage 1 and stage 2. This was stage 2 of the WHA's ultimate collapse a year later. Although it was the 6th season of the WHA, the dark clouds were on the horizon. Now, it was an 80-game season, but unfortunately there was only 6 teams in the league. Now, that year, with a reduction of 3 teams from the end of the previous season, including the San Diego Mariners, the Phoenix Roadrunners, and the Calgary Cowboys, the WHA abandoned its divisional format and grouped the remaining 8 teams together. There had been a tentative merger agreement that would have had Cincinnati, Houston, New England, Winnipeg, Quebec, and Edmonton join the NHL, but it could not be finalized. In a unique move, 2 international All-Star teams, the Soviet All-Stars and the Czechoslovakian All-Stars, played games that counted in the regular season standings. They played each WHA team once on the WHA team's home ice. The Soviet team acquitted themselves well, winning 3 plus 2 additional games against WHA teams outside the regular standings, tying 1 and losing the other 4. While the Czechoslovakian team only won 1 and tied once, losing 6. Now, this is the first time international teams competed in a regular season competition in a major professional sports league in North America. Those 2 teams, as well as the Finnish squad, would come back to play the WHA teams in 78-79, the last year of WHA. Now, the best 6 teams qualified for the playoffs. However, instead of the standard schedule for a 16 playoff, i.e. giving the first and second place teams byes in the semis, with the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth place teams opening in the quarters, the WHA came up with a unique twist. There were 3 quarterfinal series instead of 2, with the teams pairing top to bottom. First versus sixth, second versus fifth, third versus fourth. The high-seeded quarterfinal winner then received a semifinal bye and advanced to the finals, while the remaining 2 quarterfinal series winners played off in a single semifinal. All series were best of 4 out of 7 games. Now, this system, obviously, the 6th place team had to play in the semifinal. The 5th place team obviously had to play in the semifinal. So it was the 3rd for 4th would determine pretty well, unless something happened, they could be in as a 3rd seed. Now, this season, the Howe family of Gordy and his sons Mark and Marty moved to the Whalers from Houston, and again, they helped the team to the Avco Cup final. Winnipeg ended the season 50-28-2 was the best team in the league, 381 scored, 270 against. New England Whalers ended up with 44-31-5, Houston 42-34-4, Quebec 40-37-3, Edmonton 38-39-3, Birmingham 36-41-3, Cincinnati 35-42-3, Indianapolis 24-51-5, the Soviets 3-4-1, and the Czechoslovakia 1-6-1. But get this, ladies and gentlemen, the Birmingham Bulls, even though they made the playoffs, had almost double the point penalty minutes totals rest of the squads in the league with 2,177 minutes in penalties. Now, if you do the math on that, almost 30 minutes a game as compared to Winnipeg's pretty well 12 a game at 988. So, pretty bizarre. Now, scoring leaders that year, Tardif led the way, of course, with another big season, 154 points, 65 goals. Cloutier, Buddy, had 56 goals, 129 points. Ulf Nielsen led the league with 89 assists. Hedberg had 63 goals. Bobby had 46. Henri Lacroix had 36. Robbie Fatorik had a great season, 59 goals, almost hit 60. Kent Nielsen, 42 goals. Gordy, 34, 62, 96. And Mark Howe, 30-61-91. Best goalie that this year was Al Smith. It wasn't a good year for goalies. 30-20-3 with a 3.22 average. And Ernie Wakely, the veteran, played with Cincinnati and Houston, 3.41 lead and save percentage. Now, the WHA All-Star team pitted the defending champion Quebec Nordiques against the Stars who remaining WHA teams. Held on January 17, 1978, it attracted 6,400 spectators. The Nordiques, coached by Marc Beaulieu, won 5-4, and Mark Tardif and Mark Howe were named game MVPs. Now, the playoff bracket was like this. Edmonton took on the Whalers, losing 4-1. The only victory in the series was Edmonton's in the third game at home. New England won game 4, 9-1, and it wrapped up in 4-1 in game 5. Quebec against Houston. Houston won the opener, then Quebec dismantled the rest of the way, winning 3 of the last 4 games, including an 11-2 shellacking in game 6. Now, Birmingham against the Jets, in a slight upset, Birmingham won the third game to only trail 2-1, but the Jets won 9-3, 8-3, 5-1, and 5-2. Now, the semifinals, again, number 1 rank was Winnipeg. New England took on Quebec. In this series, the series was tied 1-1 after the first 2 games, with Quebec winning the second game in New England. Came back home, and New England won 5-4 and 7-3, and the Whalers wrapped up game 5, 6-3 at home. Now, in the final, there was no contest. Winnipeg won every game by 2 goals or more, 4-1 and 5-2 at home, 10-2 against New England in game 3, and then the 5-3 wrap-up. Now, trophies that year: World Cup trophy to Winnipeg, Gordie Howe trophy, Mark Tardif, Bill Hunter trophy, Mark Tardif, Lou Kaplan trophy, Ken Nielsen, Ben Hatskin trophy, Al Smith, Dennis E. Murphy trophy, Lars-Eric Schoberg for an underrated defenseman, Paul Deneau trophy, Dave Keon, Robert Schmertz Memorial trophy, Bill Deneen, and Robert Guindon won the playoff MVP. All-star team that year, who's who of some of the best players in WHA history. First team, Ulf Nielsen at center, Hedberg on right wing, Tardif on left wing. Boys, that would be a line to play in the NHL. Lars-Eric Schoberg and Al Hamilton on first team defense. Al Smith, the first team goalie. Second team, Robbie Fatorik on center, Buddy Kluche right wing, left wing, Bobby Hull. Defense, Ricky Lee, New England. Defense, of course, second team, Barry Long, and of course Ernie Wakely for the goals against average. Now, the idea with this season, it was highly entertaining. I think CBC and some of the independent channels in Canada were showing more of the games, but have the Soviets and Czechoslovaks play in the league, the All-Stars, I think it honed the skills of Winnipeg and Quebec specifically, because they were the teams that were closest. Now, what was kind of bizarre here, ladies and gentlemen, the top, 5 teams, they had goals against well over 250. Winnipeg gave up 270, New England 269, Houston 302, Quebec 347, but the bummer was in the Indianapolis Racers. They were almost minus 100 on goals for, goals against. But to me, the big surprise again was Birmingham spending so much time in the penalty box and making the playoffs. And, I think if all 8 of those teams should have been allowed in the NHL, put in their own division, I think it would be better. You would think with Cleveland and Minnesota merging and coming Cincinnati and the Racers, it would have been perfect. And Birmingham, the John Bassett Muddy would have kept it going. He could have even moved them back to Toronto, but that's just me. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening to our latest WHA podcast. If you like what we're doing, give us a like, comment, or subscribe. We're nearing a milestone here. We're trying to get monetization in. We need 1,000 subscriptions. Please take note of the number. 307,000 page hits. 225,000 in the past year. I call it the COVID bump. My hits are up 50% in the last 12 months, and without you, it couldn't have been done. So thank you to listeners. Thank you to my U.S. listeners, my Canadian listeners, in Europe, all over the world, and as we like to say up in Northern New Brunswick, keep your stick in the ice. Have a good day. Bye.